I became involved in the Chinese head tax redress case through A.V. Go, whom I had met a few years prior to the case getting started. And she sent me an opinion that the Chinese Canadian National Council had prepared and asked if I would look it over. And I looked it over and I sent her back this very long reply. This seemed like such a colossal injustice. It was just huge, and the government wasn't doing anything about it. The class action lawsuit was based on the equality guarantees of Section 15 of the Charter of Rights. And one of the really big issues that we had to deal with had to do with the long history of the violation, the fact that it started so long ago. And so we argued that this was a denial of equality before the law because Chinese were targeted for this head tax. And we said that even though it happened a long while ago, the violation was still continuing because Chinese Canadians could not be fully equal in the country until the cloud of this discrimination was removed and redress was received. Whether it was the right decision to choose a legal strategy or a court strategy for the head taxpayers is kind of a difficult question. I am inclined to say, yes, it was the right thing to do at the time, even though the case was not won, because it revived the issue and put it on the front page and on the national news, and the matter was brought to government and, more importantly, to public attention. There is a saying that human rights cases are not won in court, they're won in the court of public opinion. And what bringing this court case did was get public opinion going and move the redress movement to the next stage. One of the things that really impressed me when I did this case was the level of commitment from the community. The whole community was mobilized. Grandchildren looking after their grandfathers who were plaintiffs in the lawsuit, sons looking after their mothers who were plaintiffs in the lawsuit, communities turning out en masse on Parliament Hill, and volunteers from the legal community who served on the legal committee, helping formulate the arguments in the case, and who did basic legal chores as well as all of the exciting legal work. People came out to the courthouse and supported the case. It was awesome. And I think one of the reasons why, in the end, the redress movement achieved some level of success was that the community did not say, oh, well, it's in court, we'll just leave it to the lawyers. The community stayed with that case throughout. And so when the result was not favorable, they were right there to take it to the next step. It was awesome. I have thought often about what to say, what to tell young people who are interested in going into law, especially to search for social justice, because right now the legal system is a somewhat bleak place for equality seekers and those who are trying to further human rights. But in the end, I say yes, do it, because even if right now we can't make much progress, there is a tremendous amount of defending against human rights violations that still has to go on, and we need the tools to do that. And the other piece of advice that I have for people is follow your heart and stay where you belong. Don't try to go to Bay Street and become a Bay Street lawyer if your heart is really with social justice, because you can't pretend that your heart is not with social justice, and you'll be unhappy on Bay Street. They will be unhappy with you, and equality seekers will miss you. So that's basically my advice.